Yo, it's your boy DJ Boss Player checking in right now with another edition of Boss Talk. I'm here with a very special guest, investor, engineer by trade, one of my good friends from the University of Maryland, College Park. Terp's in the building right now. He goes by the name of Julian Carter. Say what's up, people, family.
How y'all doing? As Shonda said, I'm Julian Carter. We met in college when I was studying electrical engineering. Ended up meeting each other. LinkedIn became friends. Ended up, of course, I studied electrical engineering in undergrad. After that, I literally got on-the-job training for systems engineering. So the subject that I studied for 5 years, that took an extra year and whatnot. Literally, they just retrained me on a job in systems engineering. And so I've just been doing that like ever since. And systems engineering is like a really broad kind of job title. You can do, there's a whole lot that you can do with that. So I've been doing that for the past 15 years. And then just recently, I got involved with investing and whatnot. And so like I'm just full steam into investing and all that, just trying to retire in 10 years.
That's interesting. You know, you're talking about employment. The first question that just pops into my head is that, did the pandemic affect your employment? Or what have you heard about the pandemic affecting people at work, you know?
See, I'm kind of lucky because the type of work I do is IT work. So it really didn't affect me. And honestly, I kind of feel like I don't know. It's like I kind of feel like I kind of caused the pandemic a little bit because.
Wait, we can blame you?
I mean, I feel like I don't know, one of those things where you just think about it so much that it happens. Because like I was on site at my job in DC and whatnot. I'm a contractor supporting the federal government. And literally where I live to go to where I work is only 8 miles. And just to get there is just a hassle. So I was kind of like just praying that I could get some work from home, and the contract that I was on didn't allow me to work from home. But every day I would like just kind of sneak this, like why I can't work from home and other contracts.
Wait a minute. Are you saying God gave us the pandemic so you could work from home? Is that what you're saying?
I feel that way. I feel like I caused the pandemic. Yes, I do. I feel like I caused.
This is your fault. This is your fault, man. Send me a check, dog. Send me a stimulus check right now.
You know that joint, The Secret. How they say like you just keep thinking about something and I guess like it'll happen. That's how I feel what happened. Because it's like literally it's only 8 miles to my job, but it could take me like 40 minutes to get there, and then parking at my job is like $220.
I'm gonna charge you to park at your job, nigga.
Yes.
What kind of shit is that?
Yeah, it's crazy. $220 a month to park there, and that's not including gas, traffic, and all kinds of frustration. So, so what I do is I take the metro, but even taking that's literally $80 a week. So me being able to, once the pandemic happened, I was able to work from home, and I'm kind of happy the pandemic happened. Like I said, I've always wanted to work from home, and I'm also saving literally $80 a week. And so that's more money that goes towards savings and investments and all that good stuff. And so, like I said, I work IT. And so we literally all we did was just transition to everything online. And I'm glad we're doing that because we're realizing that it's just way more efficient to work on. We can do everything that we were doing in person, literally online. So they were flying me, because we have these things called program increment plannings, and they were flying me like every 3 months from DC to Oklahoma City for a week. And once the pandemic happened, we just realized that we could actually just do all that online. And it's actually saving a ton of money just by doing that online and whatnot. So like I said, I'm just lucky that the type of work that I do, it can easily transition to online. We just had to figure out a way in the process to do that.
So we're happy that we found out a more efficient way for you to do your job and for you to work from home. But we're not happy about the thousands of people who died.
I forgot about that. Yeah. But yeah, like I mean, the thing is, I definitely apologize for that. I don't want to. I'm not.
I just had to point that out. You know what I mean? Like I had to get that out there just so you could, redeem yourself. Like you're not happy about the tragedy of it all.
Right. Nah, but yeah, we just realized we could do everything online. We're saving a ton of money, ton of like gas, ton of just traffic and all that good stuff. So I'm just one of the lucky ones where I could transition and literally do my same job online. And I've actually been able to do it a lot more efficient than I was before, because I was wasting like 2 hours on the front end and on the back end, literally just traveling to and from work. And once the pandemic happened, I realized how much more energy I had just from not having to get up, take a shower, get dressed, do all that stuff, drive to the metro, wait for the train in the freezing cold. And that transition to just getting out of bed or rolling out of bed and just logging on to my computer, saving all that time and energy. So I'm definitely blessed and lucky that I do still have a job. And the good thing going forward about this is I've been able to still do good work in my position, and they're talking about like allowing us to work from home even after this is done, because I literally have been able to do everything that I was supposed to do in person from home. And so I'm hoping either I could stay 100% remote, or at least maybe like just come in 2 days or whatnot out of the week and just work the rest remote. So
yeah, my job is different. My job was totally devastated by the pandemic. You know, I'm a DJ. And the funny thing is, in January of 2020, I just transitioned to DJing full time.
Oh, wow.
So I quit my daytime job, which was doing security.
Mm.
So March hit. I'm getting things rolling finally.
You're like, finally, you know, I got that break, right?
Yeah, things were starting to get rolling, and then boom, like everything just stops. Like it was crazy. We were all there. It's just crazy. Like so, I had to go back to working security again, find a whole new place to work.
Right.
And now I had to be way more conscious of money management and saving and budgeting.
Yeah.
That's a skill I didn't really have so well before the pandemic, because I was good.
Right.
You know, so it forced me to make myself better. And then I had to get more educated on investing and all the different types of ways to get income.
Yeah, like the thing is, this pandemic definitely exposed a lot of people's weaknesses, for sure. Like, and it also made you realize the importance of having an emergency fund. Because if you don't have an emergency fund and you live in like paycheck to paycheck, like it's a wrap, yo. It's like it's really interesting. Like you never know what might happen. That's why it's definitely important to have at least a 3 months to 6 months emergency funds, and then once you get that, then work your way towards investments and all that good stuff. Like, did you have like a nice cushion once the pandemic hit?
I had a decent cushion. It wasn't enough, but after a certain point, I could get onto unemployment to cover what I needed to cover.
True.
So then the fact that I never used unemployment before. So I had to research that. I had to learn what that was. I had to figure out how to do all that.
Word.
And that's what really saved me. Huh?
Were you able to like get through? Because I know like mad people were trying to get unemployment.
I did. I got lucky. I got the first stimulus, and my employment went through pretty fast.
Wow.
I got lucky. I got mad lucky. And then I got a job, so I got off unemployment. So I got lucky. But I know a lot of people still waiting for those first unemployment checks from March 2020.
Wow.
They're still waiting to hear something, or they won't answer you. You could call all day. Nobody's picking up the phone.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I read about that. They said it was just like the whole unemployment system was built on like old software or something like that. And it just definitely just couldn't handle like the massive influx of people they were calling trying to get benefits and stuff. But yeah, it's good that you got unemployment. And it's even better that you stopped requesting unemployment once you started working, because they are definitely like super serious about that. And if you're like working your job and you're still collecting unemployment checks, I know people who have done that. They'll definitely get you for that. And I've been on unemployment before. And I think like just one time, like it was like 1 week went by. I didn't understand that like if you're working to build money but you're not getting paid, like you still have to like get off unemployment. Like you can't be working and then get paid later and whatnot. So, but the unemployment is definitely a lifesaver.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, my father told me the same thing. He's like, "Yo, my dad's a smart man. My dad is a PhD in economics, and he worked at the World Bank. He's retired now. Um, and he knows a lot about the government and how it works. Like he says, he overpays his taxes. Like he don't play with the IRS or the government. Like
right, yeah,
it's just
the
not working.
IRS. Yeah, the IRS got like I think the highest tax rate. Like if you owe them tax, I think they charge like by the day or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah,
Like,
their interest goes up every day on a tax debt.
yeah, I'm definitely not trying to owe anybody taxes, and luckily, I haven't owed anybody or owed the IRS taxes so far. So, plan to keep it that way. I definitely don't need them Wesley sniping me and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did your father like teach you, like give you any early investing advice?
Yeah, when I was younger, he let me know what the stock market was. I remember being about 10, 12 years old. And sorry, I'm just on my phone trying to put this on Facebook right now so people can tune in.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't have anybody on the team yet to do that for me. We still on the come up. So, but I remember he gave me a little bit of money to play with to invest in Nike. Well, he said pick whatever stock you want. I chose Nike because I was a big Michael Jordan fan.
Right.
So that went well, obviously, because I was 10. That was like 1994 when I did that.
Oh, you held on? You actually bought the stock and held on to it?
Yeah, I bought the stock, but I sold it when I went to college.
What? How much did you make off of it?
I don't even remember. Honestly, that was a long time ago. You got to remember that's 2002. It's 2021.
Right.
But
yeah.
I made money though. I just tell you that much. I made money.
Like a couple hundred, you think?
Something slight like that. He didn't even give me that much to invest in the first place. Like something like $100 or 200, something like something small. You know what I mean? I don't remember honestly, but the whole point was just to get me to think, save, and invest.
Yeah.
Honestly, my dad tried to teach me a lot about saving and investing that I did not listen to. If we're being totally transparent. Like I get the nigga urge. Like I get that. Like it's bad. Like I'm working on it. It's not as bad as it used to be. I had inherited some money. I didn't do well with that. I basically blew the whole thing. Going to the club, buying Gucci, all the things you expect a nigga to do.
Right.
But from that lesson, I'm being up so high and then being down so low, it's never going to happen to me again. Like I learned my lesson.
I can definitely relate to that. Like that's when you learn. Like one, you see where you need to improve in life when you're like in your down in your lows and down in the dumps and whatnot. And once you're there, you definitely don't ever want to go there again. And I've definitely been in that same situation, just been unemployed and whatnot, and just having to look for work. And that's you definitely don't want to be there. Like, but I wish like my parents, I think my dad, he tried to teach me like a little bit about investing when I was younger, but like he didn't really know what he was doing. I definitely didn't know what I was doing. And I think we had invested in Motorola, like in probably like 95 or something like that. And that
y'all was good until like 2002, probably like something like that.
Yo, that joint definitely tanked. And then once that joint tanked, I was just like, I don't know if I want to mess with this, like the stock joint too much, like because we literally lost it. And my mom, she's like really risk averse. She was like, yeah, you mess with that stock market, you're gonna lose your money. So like, but yeah, and we did, but that's because it was just a lack of knowledge. Like my parents are definitely like most parents where they just teach, and they're both teachers. So they enforce like education, going to work and like saving and putting your money in the bank and all that type of stuff. And I mean, that's good for a safety net. But like once you really learn about this investing stuff, it's like, why didn't y'all tell me this like 10 years ago? I could have been quit my job.
Yeah.
So, but I guess
I knew there was a reason I liked you, Julian, because my parents were both professors at one point too. So they were both in education. My mom had a PhD in education from Harvard. So she passed away in 2003, rest her soul, great. She was a great mother. And he kind of showed me walk the walk, but he didn't, like you said, he didn't really explain all the ins and outs because you need those details.
Yeah,
really understand stocks. He gave me a general idea, save your money, invest, but he didn't explain the real details of how to do it. And that's what I've been researching now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? By being in our group chat for investments with Damian Peters from Wealth Noir and all the other guys. Shout out the whole crew, Right Touch, everybody, DJ Right Touch, I mean. So you need to learn the details. There's that podcast out now.
Yeah,
those guys are dropping gems on a regular basis. This guy wants to know something right here. Freddie Velez has a comment for Julian. Speaking of stocks, what are some companies that you have invested in? What are some companies that we should consider investing in that aren't big yet?
All right. Well, let me clear the air. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular dude. I'm an engineer, and I just basically just fell in love with investing, and that's just like one of my hobbies, I guess, passion or whatnot. But to answer Freddie's question, me personally, I invest in some of the single stocks I invest in are Apple, which is definitely a good one. Their earnings report came out today, matter of fact, and they just blew away the competition. They just been doing they're sitting on $2 trillion of cash. I really don't see how they can go bankrupt or go bottoms up when you got $2 trillion of cash.
They got so many products too, bro. They got a lot of things to sell that everybody wants.
Yeah. And they just launched.
I'm on a MacBook right now. I got an iPhone right here.
Right. And they just had another Apple Day or something like that where they were releasing some more products. And I'm definitely about to buy those AirTags. Like, them joints look dope. I need it for my keys and my wallet, so I'm gonna get those. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be like a whole another industry. So, and they've been around for a minute. They got staying power. Like, if you look at their charts, like their ROI or I think that's that CAGR, CAGR, compound annual growth rate is like 28% a year. So it's definitely like a really good investment, and they pay decent dividends, which is basically money that they give you for owning their stock every 3 months. And so, me personally, I'm invested in Apple. I'm also invested in Microsoft. Same thing. They one of the big dogs. They've been around for a minute, and they just continue to perform. They're like fighting with Amazon for the whole cloud space and whatnot. I think they're gonna do pretty good there. I'm also invested in Amazon as well as Tesla. I think Tesla's going to do big things. It's already made me a significant amount of money. So I definitely believe in them. According to Kathy Woods, Tesla is just getting started. And I know a lot of people that have made a lot of money on Tesla, and I got some friends that are basically retiring from Tesla. But also another safe bet is what's called an index fund, which basically tracks the whole market. It has less risk than investing in individual stocks. And so, or you can invest in an index ETF such as VTI. And I that's what I invest in, which is VTI. That's a total stock market ETF. And so basically they just put a little bit of your money in at all the stocks within the S&P 500. And so basically you're betting on everything. So something's gotta win, right? And so I would definitely look at those first, but look at those stocks because they've been around, as well as the ETFs and index funds and whatnot, and just you can start from there.
Yeah, that sounds good. And Freddie here said he started investing when Tesla and Apple split.
Yeah. That was definitely a good time to invest. Like the price is low, so you can get more bang for your buck. I would definitely recommend that you just keep investing on a monthly basis, which is what I do. That's called dollar cost averaging. So every month you put in some money, no matter what the price is, because based on the history, those companies have gone up, and they're definitely returning some good assets and whatnot. And the good thing is today, which I wish I had access to 10 years ago, is that it's really easy to invest. You can invest through Cash App, which a lot of people don't know. You can buy Bitcoin through Cash App. You can buy stocks through Cash App. I'm also investing in Cash App too, where I have a setup where I have basically on a weekly basis, recurring investment on a weekly basis. It's buying me stocks, and I definitely got Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, Nvidia, and BTI, which is that total market ETF. and I'm invested in like a tech ETF called the Cubes or Triple Q, whatnot. So that's a good one as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about Tesla in our group chat. What's going on with that?
I'm surprised like Tesla isn't going through the roof right now because they released
the space
their
thing,
earnings.
right? He went out of space, right?
Like they released their earnings report on Monday, and they did pretty good. So like I'm really surprised that the stock actually dropped during like the after hours trading, and it actually just dropped even more today. So I'm surprised, but I mean, I still believe in them, so I'm gonna continue to invest in, and they've definitely made me some money. So I don't see any reason why they would go down. And obvious, like watching the news and whatnot, it's obvious that that EV is coming. Like it's definitely coming. And so basically, with Biden's bill and whatnot, that's going to actually aid in the electric vehicle development by allowing an architectural runway. Basically, the architecture support electric vehicles with like charging stations and all that good stuff. So I see them like probably. I personally think it's just a little dip right now, but I think as time progresses, they just ignore heads like $1,000 a share, probably more. So I'm not sweating it.
I mean, we all know stocks are not a day-to-day thing. You know, it's all about the long term. So, like, it might dip for one day, but it always goes like this. Like, how am I going to do this with this screen backwards? Hold on. Like, you know, it comes down and then it goes up. You know, it's like you know, it goes up and up and up and up, down. You know, like. So, you know, it's like it'll go down, but it'll go back up, you know, because the U.S. market always trends upward as a whole.
Yeah.
So if you pick a solid company, you're good.
Right. And like Apple, Microsoft, solid. And even if you look at Tesla's performance, that joint has been like through the roof. I don't know what it is, but I know it's been like really crazy. And a lot of people have made a lot of money when Tesla really started going hard, like around 2018. So that's a long-term hold for me. I'm a long-term investor, so I don't really do day trading or options or anything like that. I just buy good companies and just every month buy more and just hold on to them and then just get paid eventually.
Yeah, that's the smartest strategy is to play the long game. You know,
day
trading is real dangerous, and most of the time you lose. You know.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, and like I stay away from that because it's like I don't know, seems a little too addictive. Like you could easily just lose everything like that. It's like too much like gambling and stuff.
It's a lot like gambling.
Yeah. So like what I do is like I said, I do dollar cost averaging, which is basically buying a stock on a monthly basis. But I also buy the dips. Basically, a dip is when the stock dips in price, and those tend to happen. I think around March is one. I know September, October is also another time that stocks tend to dip. And so, and that's what I learned off of Earn Your Leisure, because I really started watching them around 2020 when the pandemic started, and I literally was just all about index funds and sector ETFs like VTI and the Cubes or VCR, which is consumer discretionary ETFs, and they invest in a whole bunch of stocks at one time. And that's what I was doing because I had like read a whole bunch of just reading material and they're saying that's the safest. And it is because your risk is lower. But the thing is, when you invest in like individual stocks like Apple and Microsoft, you have a much higher return on investment, ROI. And so like, whereas if you invest in something like an index fund, you might have, I think like the S&P, there's the VTI that tracks the S&P 500. And that had like I think like a return of 17%, like year over year compared to last year. Whereas Apple had something like, I think it was like 50 or something like that. So 50% compared to 17%. So that's why you would want to put your money into Apple. But the safest thing to do, which is what I do, is I invest in those ETFs, sector ETFs, total stock market ETFs, and I also invest in the single stocks like Apple, Microsoft, and Tesla to protect myself. And
what do you think about cryptocurrencies?
Crypto, I mean, like for real, me, I buy Bitcoin through Cash App, but I don't buy a whole lot of it because like I buy it because of FOMO, fear of missing out, just in case that joint pops. And it probably will be worth something, but I don't see it like replacing the dollar. Like I truly feel the U.S. would kill a whole bunch of people before they let crypto become the world's currency. They're gonna invade somebody. Like they're gonna find some oil somewhere or whatever and just invade and just destroy that. But I don't see crypto replacing the dollar, but I do see it like being useful, especially like the technology, the blockchain technology that being used. They're talking about allowing that for like lawyer transactions and real estate and whatnot, utilizing that technology. But I definitely don't see the U.S. government allowing cryptocurrencies to replace the world as the to replace the U.S. dollar as the main currency of the world. I don't see the U.S. government allowing that to happen at all.
The reason I don't like cryptocurrency is because I don't understand it, and nobody can give me an actual explanation on how it works.
Right.
And I mean, Warren Buffett says something like, "Oh, he's got all the knowledge on money and all that type of stuff, finances." He said you should never invest in something you don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't 100% understand it either, and that's because I kind of choose to. I mean, I do get it. I understand it. I understand it's like it's they're mining it and whatnot, and there's a limited supply, and that's kind of what's going to cause it to be worth something. Is like the whole scarcity, the psychological principle behind it of scarcity and whatnot, which actually gives it value. But I do think it's going to be used in just I don't know, like the future. Who knows what the future is? Like this whole pandemic happened. Who in the world would have predicted that? But I got a little bit of crypto just to diversify my investments. But I'm mainly sticking with stocks and staying with U.S. dollars and whatnot. So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you do anything with real estate at all? Are you interested in that?
See, I'm like super on the fence, like with real estate. I would rather buy REITs, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. So basically, it's like a trust that goes out and they invest in various real estate companies, and like you actually get a portion. They give like 90% payouts and whatnot to their profit and whatnot. So I invest in REITs, but like as far as the actual physical labor, like honestly, I don't see myself doing that because I don't like housework. Like I grew up in the suburbs. My parents always had me doing like a rack of work, cutting the grass, picking up sticks. Yeah, had to rake the leaves, pick up sticks, cut the grass with a push lawnmower, even though we had a riding lawnmower.
He made you use the push jump to earn that $5.
Yeah, like for like 15 years, my dad said he was working on it, getting it fixed. To this day, it's still sitting there. So I had to use a push lawnmower on 3.5 acres of grass, and so I think that that traumatized me, like with that old housework and whatnot. And I don't know. I just don't. I do see the value, but I think if you're into that, you have to have a passion for real estate, and I definitely don't have a passion for real estate and fixing stuff around the house and like just dealing with that. And I don't knock it. Maybe one day that'll change or whatnot. Who knows? Who knows what the future is? But as far as like investing in real estate, I'd rather go the REIT route and just putting those REITs into my my tax protected accounts like the Roth and the HSAs and all that good stuff.
I feel you. Like I think it's still possible I could do real estate when I get the capital, right? I'm not sure, but I think I'd rather just do small businesses that I'm passionate about,
right?
Instead of real estate. Like maybe have 2 or 3 small businesses I'm passionate about.
Yeah,
like imagine he's got rap snacks, he's got he's got record labels, he's got shoes, he got what I'm saying. But he's passionate about each one.
Yeah,
his son, he makes his son a manager. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you can do things. You could in lieu of just doing real estate, just for real estate's sake. You know what I mean? Just to diversify, you can find something you're passionate about,
right?
Use your money to push that.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know. Like, I think if I were to do real estate, it would probably be like with a group, like being a part of like a trust or something, or like just going into real estate excuse me, with like my friends or something like that. But like just me, I guess maybe possibly going to real estate with some friends and we buy like a multi-unit apartment building or something like that. But just me buying a single family home and just having to deal with like busted pipes and just people just getting mad because you have to evict them and they just rip out all the copper and smear feces everywhere. Like I'm not with that.
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Everybody saw that video where those tenants destroyed that apartment.
Like the black dude that was like crying and stuff.
Yeah, he was crying on his camera to the internet.
Yeah,
look at what they did.
Yeah.
I put my heart into this. Like I was like, oh no, don't cry on the internet, bro. They gonna roast you.
Yeah, see, I don't want nothing like that. I don't want nothing like that happening to me. And honestly, I'm just more interested in liquidity, like just being able to get my money when I need it, like just emergencies, bam, like that. And with real estate, like you do have a constant monthly income and whatnot, but it takes time to kind of like sell the houses. And maybe when I'm older and and retired and I need that monthly income, hopefully I won't when I'm messing with these stocks. But I just like the liquidity. It's like it just gives me just security where if like tragedy strikes, I could just sell a stock, transfer that money to my bank account, boom, and I'm done. Whereas like with the house, you just have to like sell it, and that could take months or whatever. But I don't know. I prefer liquidity, so I'm definitely going like the stock market route.
I feel you, and it's like just from my own life, from my own role models. Like my father did a lot in the stock market, and he's good now. He's retired. He doesn't have a care in the world, and he sends money he just sent money back to the village again today. He does it all the time, but he can do it because he's blessed. And he wants to help our family. It's for our family. So if you're a family and you have a medical bill, you need school fees, there's something emergency, he'll send you it's all good. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to be in that position one day. And it's like he showed me you can use the stock market to help you do that as a real life model. You know what I mean?
Yep, you definitely can. And like I said, you can get like dividends, like quarterly dividends that after you've been investing for a while, you can actually live off those. Like the quarterly dividends that you receive. So man, it's crazy. I'm really mad that I didn't know this like 10 years ago because I could have been retired by now. Like if I had just started investing as soon as I graduated college at like 22, by now I would have had like a whole bunch of money. And it just feels good just seeing those dividends come in because it's like money that you're getting paid that you really didn't do a whole lot for. So I'm down. I'm definitely down for getting paid for doing little to no work.
All right, well, speak about the past because a lot of people don't speak on that. Like I'm speaking on right now where I am right now. The pandemic, had gave me a big blow. I had to pick myself from the ground up. I talked about growing that inheritance. And we go through these things as we're coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you were telling me you got a story that can inspire some people because you've been through a lot of crap. But you're good. We see you. You look fine to me. So you found a way out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's definitely been a long time coming. Like as far as like my story, because after the 08 pandemic, the 08 housing market, I wasn't thinking about the real estate market at all. Like I saw what happened, but that's because I also didn't understand a lot about it. But I saw the market get crushed. I was like, true, I'm done, not messing with that. And so I really was just, I wasn't investor focused at all. I was just focused on just getting a high paying job. And I remember like I got a real good job as an engineer one time. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. I can see myself working here for the rest of my life. And so I was basically going to be on the corporate plantation for like forever. And then tragedy struck. Like I ended up losing my job. And this was like around 2016-ish. So 2016-ish, 2017-ish was really when I started getting interested in investing. Like I lost my job. I had a whole bunch of downtime. And I was just thinking and that was kind of a blessing because sometimes like I read this book called The Obstacle is the Way. And sometimes like when tragedy strikes, that allows you to really it stresses you. It exposes like your weaknesses and stuff. And so one of my weaknesses at the time was my finances. Like I was just out having fun. I didn't really have like a large savings or anything. I definitely didn't have a 6-month savings or whatnot. I was just living for the moment, having fun, traveling, doing all that good stuff. And then once I got laid off for like an extended amount of time, it was good. One thing, like I said, exposed my weakness, so it allowed me to just unplug from the rat race, take a step back, and just really think about like what I need to like focus on. I didn't have no like a large savings, so one, I realized I needed one of those. So I ended up started like watching YouTube videos, reading like investment strategies and all that good stuff. I remember watching The Breakfast Club one time, and they had Stacey Tisdale on there, and she was talking about acorns. And so, like around 2016, like I was just watching the interview, and that's also like a huge thing is like the importance of your network, so you can have access to information. And I was watching that, and she was talking about the Acorns app, which basically you set it up, it takes your money and then invest it into ETFs, like sector ETFs and whatnot. And it basically just does that automatically. It just takes your money, invests it for you, like the spare change. And you can also set like weekly deposits. So it takes like a certain amount on a weekly basis and invest it in like emerging market ETFs, the S&P 500 total stock market ETF, VOO. I'm sorry, not the total stock market, but the S&P 500 ETF, which is VOO, and all that type of stuff. So that's where I was first exposed into it. And then me not being employed also, like I was just going through money, like not having a savings for 3 to 6 months, and I was just going through money, going through money, and I ended up like, of course, some bills started piling up. So I fell behind on the mortgage payments, fell behind on the condo fees because I stay in a condo. Fell behind basically on just about everything. And so that was like a huge issue. I was just like, yo, how is this happening to me? And then to make things worse, I had a huge flood, a huge flood in my condo. Like I got up one night in the middle of the night, went to the bathroom, accidentally broke the toilet, and I saw some water come out. I just thought it was just like the water from the top or whatever. So I thought I was good. Went back to sleep. It was like 4 a.m. I definitely wasn't about to just wake up and clean up all the water. So I thought I saw the water, whatever, thought I was good. So I'm already unemployed, mad behind on bills and condo fees. And then on top of this happened. And I also my dumbass didn't even have a homeowner's insurance. So I stay where I live, all the water seeped down, and I live on top of a bridal shop. So it just dropped on a whole bunch of bridal dresses and tuxedos and whatnot. And I believe like the damage was like $20,000 for all the damage that I caused on that.
Wow.
So I was mad. So that was $20,000 on top of all the mortgage and the condo fees that I was behind. So then I ended up learning to Airbnb my spot, which was a blessing. Just Airbnb in that all 2016 and whatnot. And then I started making progress, ended up getting employment again. But then actually, no, I didn't get employment for a while. It's been a minute, and it was kind of a painful time. So I kind of like blocked a lot of this information from out of my mind because it was like real painful. But I remember I was working my way towards just like trying to just catch up because I had money just going everywhere. And then literally once I made that last payment on the flooding issue, and I still didn't get like homeowners insurance. Literally, I kid you not, to that day, 1 year to the day, I washed some pillows in the washing machine, and it flooded again. Went all the way down to the same damn bridal shop, dripped on some more dresses and some more tuxedos. And I wasn't playing around this time. I was like, okay, clearly that's a sign I need some homeowners insurance. And I got that. It was only $25 a month. Should have had that a long time ago. It would have saved me a lot. So basically with all of that, then I fell behind on the, like I said, the condo fees. So with the mortgage, this water damage incident, like I had like $60,000 in bills, and it was growing at interest. And so I just had to just basically figure out a way to catch up. And so that's when Airbnb came in, ended up getting a job, and I started watching actually a lot of Dave Ramsey videos and talking about the debt snowball. And so that's kind of what I did, was just focus on the smallest debt, knock that out, and go to the next one, knock that out, and proceed so on and so forth. I mean, but it took me 2 years, so that was that was definitely real painful. And during that downtime, like I was just like, yo, okay, this definitely hurt me financially. How am I going to retire? How am I going to, like, I can't keep doing this, like just working. What am I going to do? Work until like I'm 65? And so then I remember what Stacy Tisdale was talking about with the ETFs. So that's when I just started getting like really curious about investing and whatnot. And like the more I learned, the more I wanted to know. And then I talked to my friend, a childhood friend of mine, about it, and he put me onto this blog called JL Collins. And I was just reading that, and once I read that, it was like I had the Holy Ghost or something for investing, because I was just like, yo, why didn't anybody tell me this? Like really, all you got to do is buy this stuff, put your money in this account, and your money will make money for you. Like, what the hell? Like, that goes against every principle that I was taught in school, because like this whole U.S. education is basically they brainwash you, condition you to be a worker. I remember I was like, the first time I even heard the word entrepreneur, I was probably like 21 in college. But once I like learned about that, learned about how stocks work, how the whole S&P 500, Great Depressions, how the whole total stock market worked, and all that good stuff, and bonds and whatnot, that had me hooked. But however, I like at that time, from 2017 to like 2019, again, I was just really into ETFs, index funds, and whatnot. And so, but it wasn't until like the 2020 pandemic that I just really started like branching out with the single stocks, and just learning how the single stocks work, learning about return on investment, the best time to buy, which is really the strategy that I use, is when those single stocks drop below their 200-day moving average, which is the lowest price that they've been for the past 200 days. That's like a really good time to buy. So it really took me like just hitting rock bottom, and just being disconnected from the rat race, having a lot of time to myself to basically just meditate and just figure out how I'm gonna get this money. So yeah.
Hey, man, that's quite a story right there, man. You went through a lot, man. There's a lot of stress.
There's a lot of stress. I had to pay back, become current with the mortgage, become current with the condo fees, had credit cards, debt that I had to pay off.
I mean, you had to save money. So what was your grocery bill like? Were you eating carry out, or were you eating groceries?
I was eating like ramen noodles, like to save money. And the ramen noodles, I remember, was giving me like the itis, like no other. Within 30 minutes of eating them joints, I was like passed out on that. Like, when I started getting mad fat because of all the carbs, like I realized like my body literally, it just seems like takes carbs and converts them directly to fat. So I was like just eating ramen noodles, sleeping all day, just stressed out, man. Stressed out. Probably cortisol levels was through the roof. I was just like, because I just had just so much money to just pay off. I was even had payday loans that I had to pay off, and that was mad stressful. So it was just like, it was the payday loans, paid them off first, then focused on the credit cards, then it was the water damage, then mortgage, and like and then again becoming current on the condo fees, which is like another 10,000. So it was definitely a journey. I just remember just being stressed out like so much, but like you reach a point where it's just like you got so much like on your mind that you just kind of just tone it out, like you just block it out. And so a lot of the stuff I kind of forgot, because I just didn't even want to think about it, because it was just like a headache, and it just seemed like once it rained it poured, like there's more stuff just tend to happen. And that's when I like became and got really into stoicism and whatnot, just trying not to react to everything that was going on around me.
So you're debt free now, right?
Yeah, debt free and so much smarter. Way more financial.
That's a blessing, bro. Congratulations, man. You know how many people are in debt right now, like in their 60s in debt? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is a blessing. It is a blessing. Like, even to be financially literate and just know how to just maneuver and whatnot. I even started learning about credit cards, and just like the whole utilization rate is good to keep your credit card utilization below 30%, because that actually helps increase your credit score. So of course, like my credit score took a like a shellacking, dog. Like that joint got murdered. And so also again, watching YouTube University. I was watching The Breakfast Club again, and they were talking about this one app called Self, and basically you pay a certain amount of money each month. It was like $20, and then that's they once they receive your money saying that you paid it, they report that information to the credit bureau, and then that helps build your credit. So my credit was like just demolished, so I had to do that to build my credit, so then I could then get a credit card. And then that's when my credit like really started jumping. It's like jumping by leaps and bounds. Once I was able to get that credit card, maintain that balance and whatnot. Because I consider credit cards really like a sort of like a moat, like a protective force field. Because you got 6 month savings, you got your investments, but when like random life bullshit happens, like the credit card is sort of like a force field to absorb that shock, so it doesn't like you don't really hit your savings like that. You can just pay off whatever random shit that happens in the long run. So yeah, but it was definitely a journey, and I mean I learned a lot though. It definitely made me stronger. I'm actually happy that it happened to me now when I'm single without a family. Then it happening to, and me learning all of that stuff, then happening to me when I'm like, when I have a family and everybody's dependent on me and stuff. And if this happened when I didn't know nearly as much as I know now, or if it happened, I was in a much more vulnerable state, like I could see it being a lot worse. And I understand why people go into debt and whatnot. So, but I'm trying to just stay debt free and just, just build hopefully my wealth just compounds. And like I said, I'm trying to retire in 10 years.
That sounds great. And really it shows, because a lot of people feel like they're in a cycle of poverty. Like they can't get out. It shows if you really save, you eat them ramen noodles, you find your income, Airbnb and a job. So nigga, get a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Do what you need, get the training you need, whatever you need, get a better job. You know what I'm saying? Find whatever way. You move back with your parents and Airbnb the crib. Do what you gotta do. You can find your way out.
Yeah, a good thing is I remember on one of my flights back from Oklahoma City, I was reading this book called The Automatic Millionaire. And that was like a really good book. Basically, it just teaches you to set up your accounts and your savings accounts and all that good stuff. Set it up for automatic with a draw. And that's exactly what I do. So every Friday, a certain amount of money just automatically goes into my savings and I don't even see it. So once you have it just automatically just going into your savings account and whatnot, that's a really good way to just kind of help you save your money. Another good way is if you can get a job with a 401k. That would definitely help as well. I think the easiest thing you should do is like set up a 401k with a job if it offers it, set up like a target date fund and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you got a compliment from Freddie Velez. He said Julian is putting in 100% effort, no excuses when it comes to being financially responsible.
Yeah, that's my friend from high school. He's talking about 100% effort. That was the logo of our wrestling team, 100%. Yeah,
he's over there. He's representing right now, dog.
Yeah, I mean, and actually, like wrestling, honestly, that joint taught me a lot of life lessons. To just basically be tenacious and whatnot, to stay focused, and that's kind of what I was. I was very tenacious and just this debt repayment, getting about that joint, because it just seemed like at one point like an insurmountable amount of debt. Like I'm talking about where you just think about it and your whole day is ruined, So I just, It's
like you think about it, you just like, damn, I'm blown again. You think about how much debt you get, you just blown.
Oh yeah, like don't want to get out of bed, don't want to do nothing. It's just like, yo, and it's like you start waking up and you're like, yo, what could go wrong today? What else could go wrong? That type of stuff. So, but I think that was just the scare. That was definitely the scare that I needed to make sure that shit does not happen again, like ever. So, like it scared me so much. I think I'm good now.
So, yeah. So that's a great story, man, and I think that's going to be helpful to a lot of people and give a lot of people a lot of comfort and a lot of inspiration because it's like, I feel like I'm in debt. People got them student loans. People got all kinds of debt. So it shows you can dig yourself out of a situation if you want to.
See, I'm kind of lucky I don't have student loans. But if I had student loans on top of all the debt that I incurred, it would have been a problem. I'm just blessed enough that my parents paid for my college. And that was probably one of the biggest blessings that I could have received. And I didn't realize that at the time. I didn't, but like 10 years later, and you're just talking to people who still have student loans and they still got crazy amounts of debt, and you don't got any. Like you see like how much of a blessing that was, and that also allowed me to get my first condo early on because my like debt to income ratio was low because of that. And even though I had mad water leakages and all that good stuff, it allowed me to just at least build up some type of equity in real estate, so I could just use equity as a down payment on another property or whatever. But it's definitely helpful to have that.
All right, so you've learned a lot about finances through your journey and everything. Like, what's the most surprising thing you think you learned along the way so far?
How easy it is to just how easy it is to invest in the stock market, how easy it is to make money once you have like the right tools and knowledge and whatnot. Like, it's super easy. Like, I'm really mad that I didn't know this 10 years ago. Like, it's really, really easy. I'm just like the various accounts and whatnot, like the different types of rules, like the HSA, which is a health savings account. Like I'd known about the 401k brokerages and all that stuff, but I didn't know anything about the HSA account. And that's like one of the dopest accounts that you can have because you can put money in. It lowers your tax base because you're allowed. I think the IRS allows like $3,500 a year. So by you contributing that lowers your tax base. So less in tax that you have to pay. The money that you put in there grows tax-free. The dividends, the capital gains, all of that is tax-free. And then if you have a valid medical reason, you can then take the money out of the HSA and use that to pay for whatever medical bills. But you like the money that you put in there, you can invest in stocks, you can invest in ETFs, index funds, and all that type of stuff. So your money isn't just sitting there; it's actually growing. So, and it's a very good thing to invest in while you're young because as you get older, the body starts messing up, you start falling apart, having health issues. So if you put the money in now, by the time you're like 55, 60, when you start having those issues, the money will have grown so much and you could just take that money out. And another beauty is you don't even have to, let's say, because I go to the chiropractor, working from home kind of like messed up my shoulders and whatnot. And so I can either I could take money out of my HSA, which I'm not going to do because I want that money to stay in the HSA growing. But I could just, I recently took receipts from the chiropractor. And so what I can do is, as long as I have the receipt, I could take that money out later. So I could take it out when I'm like 45 after my account has grown a lot more. I could take that out and use that for something. I could even use that to pay for taxes for like selling stock or something like that. But I have a receipt showing that, this is a valid medical expense. So it's so much stuff, so many rules, like so many cheat codes that people just are completely oblivious to.
There's hella cheat codes, bro. It's crazy.
Yo, the rich know crazy amounts of cheat codes. Like even like little things like with the Roth IRA, like you can that's kind of like a really dope savings account. Like you could put money in and it'll grow in this tax sheltered Roth IRA, like the dividends and whatnot. And you can like if an emergency strikes, and I would highly suggest you do this as well. Like when emergency strikes, the money that you contributed to the Roth IRA, you can actually take that out, but you can't take the gains that or the appreciation of that money. So, but you could take that out for emergencies or whatnot. So it's really, really there's so much out there. Like, and it just makes me read even more because I'm just curious. Like, if I know this much, like, what else don't I know? Like, what other cheat codes are out there that I don't know about? So,
we only got about 5 minutes left. I just wanted to ask you a cultural question. We We like to talk about everything on this show. We're running out of time, unfortunately. We could go another hour if we had time, but I know you guys.
Time is flying by. Like, I don't think I would have enough to say, honestly. Golly.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Chauvin verdict.
Wait, what?
Derek Chauvin, the cop that killed, murdered George Floyd.
I mean,
I said his name wrong at first. Honestly, it's a French name and it's pronounced Chauvin, but he's such a hick, he don't even know how to say his own name. It's Chauvin, but it's Chauvin. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, no, I'm glad he got convicted because he clearly was killing that guy, or he clearly killed him on tape. It's just sad that it took like a recording and protesting and rioting and all that type of stuff to just get one cop convicted.
One cop.
Yeah, one cop convicted.
It took all that to get one guy.
Right, you had to burn down a whole bunch of buildings and all that type of stuff to get one cop convicted. So, but I'm glad it happened because it could have been worse. He could have gone scot-free. But hopefully, maybe with Biden in office and whatnot, there'll be some type of police reform and all that type of stuff. But me personally, I try to avoid the news. I try to be positive, try to intake only positive things, because I've actually noticed in the past, and actually when I was going through my issue and whatnot, I started reading a lot of books on psychology and stuff. So I realized that you watch too much negative stuff, it's going to have an influence on you. You're going to be sad or just thinking about negative stuff. I literally was thinking back and realized that once I watched some fucked up shit, it ruined my day. I was mad the rest of the day and all that type of stuff. So I was like, you know what, let me cut this out. So even I'm on YouTube, I see all these videos pop up like police murder this and that. I just skip over them. If it's not about money or something positive, then I don't even want to watch it. I even stopped watching the first 48. For real. I stopped watching that because I was just like, yo, I was just feeling just real depressed after one episode.
That's the quote of the show. If it's not about money or something positive like that, I don't want to watch it.
Right.
Thank you, Julian Carter, for coming on the show tonight.
Not a problem, yo. Not a problem.
Really appreciate you. You want to shout out your Instagram real quick or anything like that?
Jules _ DMV. It's mad underscores. I don't know how many. But if you do Jules _ DMV, you'll definitely find me and all my travel pics, because that's what I'm really into right now. So
yeah, and check out my blog, bossreview.blog. I got some poetry on there, some essays, videos, a bunch of cool stuff on there. So check out my blog, bossreview.blog. We'll be back with Boss Talk next week for another show. So thanks for tuning in, y'all. We appreciate you.
True. Thank you for having me, man. This time flew by.
Yeah, thanks to you too, man. We appreciate you.
All right.